Hey, I'm Carla from Masters College, and I'm going to show you how to do a critical reasoning exercise for the GMAT. So let's go. The first step is to identify the question based on how it's worded. In this case, it reads, the two portions in boldface play which of the following roles? Now we have structure, assumption, and evidence-based questions. In this case, it is a question about structure. Within structure-based questions, this specific type of question where you have two sections in bold and a question about the role of those sections, it would be called a describe the role question. The next step is to go ahead and break down or deconstruct the argument. As we do that, we need to figure out if the information we're dealing with is the conclusion of the argument, if it's some kind of supporting premise for the conclusion, or if it serves another function. So we're going to go ahead and read it. To get into a top MBA program, one must have 5 years of work experience and a 90th percentile GMAT score. This first portion in bold, as of right now, it's unclear whether this is just giving us background information or if it's actually supporting a conclusion. So we're going to keep reading. Alexis has a 95th percentile GMAT score and 5 years experience in the workforce. So Alexis must be accepted into a top MBA program. The word so is indicating that some kind of conclusion is coming, and in this case, it would in fact be the main claim or conclusion of this argument. Now, if we go back to the first part, we can assess that this information was a supporting premise for the final conclusion. Our next step is to go ahead and state the goal. We need to find an answer that is most closely aligned to what we've identified. We have two portions going in the same direction, the first one providing some kind of support for the final conclusion in the second portion. Our last step is to eliminate. We can actually get rid of C, D, and E immediately because they all assess that the first portion is the conclusion when we know it's the second. So we're only left with A and B. The only difference between these two is that A says the conclusion must be true, whereas B says the conclusion is not necessarily true based on the evidence that we've been given. Therefore, we have to think about the argument a little bit more. Alexis meets two requirements. We know that she has the work experience. We also know that she has the score. What we don't know if there are other requirements and whether or not she has met them, such as, for example, the payment of an application fee. Therefore, this is not a conclusion that must be true, but instead one that is not necessarily true based on what we've been given. And that's it. That's how you do it. Thank you.